today's spur-of-the-moment media blitz from the president, he called North Korean leader Kim Jong-un a, quote, strong head of state. Then he made this comment that raised some eyebrows.
He speaks and his people sit up at attention. I want my people to do the same.
What did you mean just now when you said you wished Americans would sit up at attention when you spoke?
I'm kidding. You don't understand sarcasm.
All right, let's break it down with some more highlights from the president's surprise press gaggle with Reuters White House correspondent Jeff Mason. Great to have you with us tonight.
Nice to be with you.
Okay, so he got a second bite at that question when he had someone ask him directly about it. He does speak often in hyperbole and sarcasm. What did you make of that exchange?
He does, and as you said, he had a chance to answer that when he was asked about it, and he said he was joking. But I think one of the reasons it hasn't sat well with some people is that he does often make comments that are positive or praising of dictators and hardline leaders, and that comes in the context of just having gotten back from the G7, where he was doing the opposite in many cases about U.S. allies.
Well, and speaking of that, there is now talk about whether or not he will go and sit down with Russian President Vladimir Putin for a face-to-face meeting. Here's what he said on that point today.
It's possible that we'll meet, yeah. And I thought, this all started because one of you asked, should Putin be in the G7? I said, no, he should be in the G8. A few years ago, Putin was in what was called the G8. I think it's better to have Russia in than to have Russia out.
It seems to be his theory, at least what I infer from that, is that they are major players in everything that's happening from Syria to North Korea, the Middle East, and that if you're going to work on solving those kinds of problems, he wants them to be at the table. Otherwise, you're negotiating in vain. How did you take it? I mean, he's taken a lot of heat for that.
He has, but he's taken a lot of heat for some time for the relationship that he has wanted to build with Russia. He's obviously has this Russia investigation going on at the same time, so there's a lot of political risk and heat for him there anyway. And there's the fact that President Putin was kicked out of the G8, which became the G7, because of having annexed Crimea. So there are a lot of reasons from both sides of the political aisle for Russia not to be at that table. But the president, I think, as you said, I think his view is he wants to have a relationship with President Putin. He wants to have a relationship with Kim Jong-un. He wants to have a relationship with these leaders because he thinks that will be productive for the United States.
He does talk about these different coalitions in terms of relationships, even when he was asked about going into North Korea and sitting down and, being criticized for not doing preparation, although we were told he was briefed repeatedly by Ambassador Bolton and Secretary of State Pompeo. But he kept talking about the fact that, for me, it's about a relationship. I want to sit down face-to-face with this guy and see if we can connect. And now he says they did.
Exactly. And he is a leader both before he became a politician and now in the White House who operates very much on instinct and building that relationship, be it in his business career or now that he's in the White House. Now, not everyone thinks that's good enough, but that's a lot of where his confidence comes from.
Were you surprised at all by this today? I mean, obviously he had talked about that he was going to be on the White House lawn to talk to Steve Doocy from Fox and Friends. And of course,
he didn't give much warning about that.
Well, no, but once you see him out there, then everybody else is scrambling to try to get him on his way back in. But sometimes I think he prefers off the cuff, and you can get good stuff from him, at least interesting stuff.
Oh, I do too. No, I think he likes to surprise people. He likes to surprise reporters, and he does come and talk to reporters often, whether it's what he did today, which was unusual for sure, or when it's on his way to the airport, to the helicopter on his way to Andrews Air Force Base. Yeah. So we get chances to ask him questions, and he makes news at them, be it on Russia or anything else.
He does. The shouted question with him usually pays off, even as the handlers are saying, that's it, get out.
He likes to engage.
He does.
Yeah.
He really does. And he likes to joust as well, as
Agreed.
you know.
Yeah.
Jeff Mason, thanks for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.